Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pro League this week alongside David Tab. I am Hugh Green, and David, All Florida Pro League stop number 3 in Miami coming up this Saturday.
It's game week, baby, and it's going to be a good one. We're indoors, so South Florida, we're inside, so you can't complain about the heat, can't complain about the wind. The only thing you complain about is yourself right now. So we got lots of moves, lots of shakeups. We're coming out of that waiver wire period, so I'm pumped for stop number 3.
Yeah, stop 3 is going to look a whole lot different than the first 2 stops have looked with all the new players on different teams, waiver wire pickups. First trade in league history happened but since last stop. There's been a lot of movement, and there's going to be a lot of different faces as well on the sub front in stop 3. We talked about it a little bit last week on this show, and there's 5 subs coming up in stop 3. This is the first one we talked about it. Madeline Porter coming in for Ava Piscreta. We talked about a whole lot of subs in stop 3.
Yeah, so, Madeline Porter coming in, GNV coming off of waiver wire. They're basically 3 out of the 4 people right now are brand new to each other. So we're going to see what kind of chemistry they're going to have.
Yeah, for sure. And then we also touched on Drew Holder being replaced by Eli Kurls for the Lakeland Palms in stop 3. Drew, kind of that solid force on the right side of the men's squad for them. Now Eli has to jump in and try to get them from the middle of the pack of the standings, try to make that jump into the top few teams.
Yeah, I mean, they went hometown on the pickup for, Drew missing. So, Eli's going to get a chance to prove that he belongs, just like we saw in the previous stop. It's one of those things. Can he come out of the gate hot? Because Lakeland needs it.
Yeah, they definitely do. And can he be one of those guys when the second waiver wire period comes up? Will he be someone that's added onto a team if somebody decides to replace one of their men's players? So we'll see how Eli can perform for Lakeland. And then on to 3 new subs that we haven't touched on yet. The first for the St. Pete Icebergs, one of the top players in the league, and Steven Preissler, not going to be available in Miami on Saturday. And now they bring on Anton.
Yeah, so Anton going to come in. I know him and Camden been playing some money balls together. He's a lefty, right? So it adds a new dynamic. It'll be interesting to see which girl he plays with. I mean, Camden and Hannah have been playing together, but, Sophia definitely got a good left side game. So we might see that continue. Maybe they change it up a little bit, just kind of see what happens with the Icebergs. But, like you said, Steven, one of the top guys in the league, that's a big hit for them. And so it's going to be a knock. Anton definitely been training, been hearing lots of good things about him. See if he's ready to step up to the next level. He's very similar to Eli in the sense that they're hometown boys. They're playing in those, really, really advanced groups and putting in the work to try and train and, get ready for this next level of competition.
Yeah, for sure. And he's no slump. I mean, you could see by his Duper rating on the screen. I mean, he's the top player. I mean, he was probably one of those players. He was like, "Oh, why didn't I get drafted?" Now he gets his opportunity to show his abilities and show, hey, I belong in this league. I belong on a pro team like this in the AFPL, and he gets to do it for one of the top teams in the league thus far. St. Pete, we talked about it last episode. They're played in that afternoon pool. Will they be able to kind of overcome Steven being out and advance through that afternoon pool, get into the stop finals for a second time in the first 3 stops? They came up short in stop 1 to the Ballers, and now with Anton and Camden together in the men's side, and him and one of the 2 girls in the mixed doubles, will he be that added force that they need? And can he bring somewhat of a spark to the Icebergs here in stop 3?
I mean, and don't underestimate the fact that Steven is kind of the voice on that team. He's the one chirping. He's the one cheering. I mean, I think we had a photo of him jumping 800 feet off the ground one time for one of his player points. Anton's new. He's not only just new to the league, he's newer. So it's going to be an interesting thing because they're going to lose kind of that leadership dynamic. Camden's pretty quiet. The rest of that team's pretty quiet. in regards to this. So, that's actually probably the biggest loss for a team going into this stop.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But there are a couple more as well. We got on to the next one. You see Mia Turcsany out, Emily Lewis in for O Town here in stop three. They're one of those teams that are towards the bottom of the standings. They're trying to make their way up. But losing one of your top women, that's not something that you love. But hey, Emily Lewis now it's her chance to come in and prove herself.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely looking forward to the opportunity here in O-Town. Now 2 new team members, right? Because remember, they were involved in that trade. So, Savannah Ullman going to get to play the left big time here. She's ready for the action. Obviously, I'm picking them. I think Emily Lewis is a little bit underrated for we all know the duper and stuff like that, but she's a little bit underrated in that sense. But she's going to come out and ball and prove that she belongs. You've got like this St. Augustine, kind of upper East Coast, calling it Northeast Coast conglomerate, trying to prove that, hey, South Florida ain't the only place, right? Tampa ain't the only place. St. Pete ain't the only place, although MLP was amazing. Isn't the only place. Like Northeast Florida is on the come up for talent, and Emily's a diehard and going to try and prove that.
Yeah, for sure. You talk about that. I mean, there's kind of the hubs that you see around Florida for pickleball, and you said it. It's the Tampa area, it's the South Florida area. Jacksonville's big. I know you know all about the Jacksonville players. But yeah, maybe Emily's kind of that forefront of the players from that St. Augustine area. Maybe jump them or put them on the map a little bit in the pickleball sense, especially around the state of Florida. So she gets her opportunity to ball out alongside Savannah Ullman. Yes, it'll be interesting for O-Town to have 2 new women players on their team in this stop. Two women who've never played in a All Florida Pro League stop with the 2 men on their team. So it should be really interesting.
Well, and I'm believing a lot in my pick here, but in all fairness, I'm taking kind of a flyer on O-Town because BK's coming back. This is the first stop him and Emmanuel have been together. So You're literally going to have 4 people that don't play together at all coming together. And I believe that they can ball and be good on it,
Yeah, well, we'll see if they can do it. We'll see if Emily can help them. And then the final sub, the 5th and final one for this stop, in the hometown stop for the Miami Blaze, they'll be without Ben Yu, and they bring in Kaden Selewski, who we saw ball out when he got his opportunity last time.
You're watching what happens when a player gets an opportunity, man. Yep. I mean, Kaden, everybody was impressed by him when he showed up at Lakewood Ranch. And, being a hometown guy there, now he's got to travel. Now he's got to do the same thing because, it's a short season here. We got stop number 3. We got the midseason tournament. And then what happens again? It's waiver wire time. And there's a couple more stops where male players are missing, and he's really trying to put himself on there. I know a lot of people are rooting for him. A lot of people were impressed by him. I think that he's going to be a great fit for Miami. He's going to be playing alongside, Jake Bauer. So they know each other. He's got, great women on the team. Ellie's super, super consistent. Gianna's obviously one of the top players. So he's coming into a good environment where he can succeed again and show out. It's going to be good. So, going one stop, got to get better at the next stop. So Kaden's going to be a nice fit on that Miami team.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt that Kaden will fit right into, and he's had that experience that some of these other subs haven't had. So he has the opportunity, to show out again for a second time. So like some of these subs, like we just talked about, Emily Lewis coming in for the first time, a couple other players, this is their first time showing up for the AFPL this season. And now Kaden, who has that experience, he knows what it takes to win. And with him on the team, they did a good job when he got picked up last time, and now he comes in and it's the home stop for Miami. So, the crowd is definitely going to be behind him, and that'll probably be a big confidence boost for Kaden for sure with the Blaze fandom behind him. And I'm sure they're upset to see Ben not being able to make it for this stop, but Kaden's a fantastic replacement for him. I mean, it's exactly what you want, especially alongside, as you said, Jake Bauer, who's really showed out to the first 2 stops.
And I mean, Miami's biggest knock is that they didn't come out hot, right?
Yeah.
So, they're going to have to show that they can start off hot, right? They
Mhm.
need to come out, make a statement in their first match and prove that, they're no longer that team that shows up for match number 2 and one, that first game's a throwaway with just a warm up, because that's what's proven to hurt them in the long run, especially for stop number 2, is if, they're just like, they got to find a way to get going. That's the biggest thing for them. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And we talked about it last week. We talked about the pools being coming out, the two different pools, the morning pool, the afternoon pool, and now we have some picks. David and I, we made a couple picks for each match of the day. So here we go. These are my picks for the Pro League pick 'em. You see them there for the morning. So I say Manatees Ballers. I mean, they're the two top teams in the pool. They're
Nice.
in the number 1 seed,
Yep.
the number 2 seed. So I think it'll be kind of a battle between those two teams, especially in that morning pool. I have the Ballers coming out of it. I have them going 3-0 in their stop or in their morning pool to win the pool, go to the stop finals for a third straight time. Yeah, so those are my picks. I got the Blaze winning one. I think it's going to be a rough day for the Tide. I mean, they didn't they didn't really get the luck of the draw when it comes to the morning pool there.
I mean, the question that you have, biggest one is, can the Manatees sustain playing like that? Right.
Yeah,
So, they had the benefit of sleeping in their own beds, and they were at their hometown. Now they're going to be walking into the opponent's territory. And so you're playing the hometown team that, South Florida, Miami might be the hometown team, but South Florida is we've got a lot of players from there,
yeah.
and none of them play for the Manatees. So they're going to be fighting adversity all day long. And that's going to be the tell point of that first one. Again, like, Miami's got to prove. I mean, you're saying they can't come out strong, man. So that's on you. You got to.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So those are my picks. Now we take a look at David's picks for the morning. You have Manatees, Ballers, and a Tide taking one.
So yeah, like I have the Manatees over the Blaze. I think that I do think they're going to come out successful. I think it's going to be tight, but I think that in the end, it's going to come down to, like, they have a sub. So that's going to be one of the toughest parts. Yeah, I have the Manatees over the Tide again, Ballers over the Blaze. But then I go a little bit different. I think that the moves that the Tide made have re-energized the team a little bit. And so you're going to see them start to gel. It's going to take them a couple matches, but then I see the hometown team not winning a single game, not winning a single match the entire time. I think that they are going to go get a little tight. I think that the Tide are going to start to, at least Tide rise. That's bad. But, like, I think that you're going to start to see that chemistry come into play a little bit with the Tide and, the new addition to the team. So I think that that's going to be a big one. And then I do have the Manatees taking down the Ballers. I think that there's a bad taste in their mouth from stop number 2, losing at home. I think Jacksonville, I don't know if they can sustain the way that they're going. Like, you can't just keep winning. We saw it in every single season. Even if you were going ruckshot through the pools, you had to drop some matches. They lost matches. They didn't make finals. Like, the Chomp last year didn't make a couple of finals.
Yeah.
So, I think that this is going to be that stop where the Ballers have they drop one, and I think it's going to be to the Manatees. I think the young kids are just so like, youth don't care, man, and they want to win bad, and that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely hungry. I mean that match between the Manatees and Ballers, that's going to be fireworks. I'm sure there'll be a little trash talk at the end of the morning pool between those two, and we both have it. Whoever wins that match goes to the stop final. So it'll be a lot of energy around that court and those two teams play. And so it'll be really interesting to see who can come out on top and make the stop finals. I say the Ballers, you say the Manatees. And we take a look at the afternoon now. So here we go. These are my picks for the afternoon pool. I got the Chomp.
Did you just like Christmas tree this and just go straight down the side right there? What'd you do? And then try to
Hey,
mix it up one time? I
I
see
got
what you
the
did there.
I got the left side. I got the left side on one. But no, I mean, I think the Chomp are going to come out hungry. You talked about all um, the different players that they have. I mean, it's a completely new look team for the GNV Chomp, and I think they take 2 games or 2 matches in this afternoon pool. For me, it's the Icebergs. I think they come out of the pool. You see them. I have them winning all 3 of their matches. But the Chomp, it's going to be interesting to see the Chomp with all their new additions. We talked to Krishan about it, their captain, a couple weeks ago. She's excited. This whole team is excited. So they'll come out hungry for sure. But now the Icebergs, Steven being out, that definitely throws a little chink into my armor there for my Icebergs pick in the afternoon pool. But I still think they have a chance to take it home.
Yeah, I think the Christmas tree philosophy ain't going to work for you, bud.
Hey, you're picking. I mean, you talked about it earlier. You're high on the bangers.
I'm all in on the bangers this stop. I think that, having both men there together, I think that the move with Savannah Ullman was a positive one, only for strategic reasons on their playing style. They really only have one sub. Everybody else is on the team. I watched Emmanuel play. He could flat out ball. I think that coming out first against the Chomp with that, underdog story, these guys are the Keanu Reeves football movie right now with the Chomp. So they got to figure out a few things, and it's going to take them a match or two to do that. I do have the Bergs over the Palms, and then the O-Town over the Palms again. And then I got Upset City, baby. I think one match and the Chomp figure it out, and they upset the Icebergs. I'm going Miami is the story of upsets on this one, and then the Icebergs are going to drop 2 matches here. So they're going to drop one to O-Town, and they're going to drop one to the Chomp, and then the Chomp again are going to have 2 wins in this one because I think they're going to also take down the Palm. So I think bangers go the distance. The Chomp go 2-1. Icebergs go 1-2, and then I think that the Palms go 0-3 here. They got a lot of work to do. I think also too is the Palms are really trying to play for the finals, and so they're developing their players. You could see some things happening, but I mean they're still learning at this point.
Yeah, and having Drew Holder not in there as well, that'll be a big miss for the Palms here in this stop. So yeah, I mean, I say Icebergs and Ballers. You say bangers and manatees. So now let's make our picks here. Let's make our picks for the stop finals. I had the Icebergs and the Ballers in the stop finals for stop 3. You have the bangers and the manatees. So I say the Ballers go 3 for 3. I think they win the stop finals for a 3rd straight time. I think they've just been so good, and they're so good together. The chemistry between their 4 players is just phenomenal. It's been phenomenal all season. I think that continues. I think the Icebergs not having Steven will definitely hurt them a little bit in that stop finals. It'll be interesting because the Ballers, for the first time, if they make it to the stop finals, they'll have to take a break in between because they're playing in the morning pool this time. They've been in the afternoon for the first 2 stops. But I think they can overcome that. Well, the Icebergs maybe being without Steven, I think the Ballers go 2 for 2 against the Icebergs in the stop finals.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on the Ballers one. I mean, you're talking about this team has to travel, right? So they have a long distance to travel. Alexa lives down there, part of that South Florida constituency, but you got like Jared and Ahmed waking up at like 6 a.m. That like 7 a.m.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a kid. That's a kid. That dude don't wake up before 10 a.m. And Jared Cohen, that dude's old. Like he's got a baby. He don't sleep anyway. So like waking up at that early, this is their first time in the morning pool. They're going to walk right into enemy territory here. I think that what you're going to see a couple of times is like the South Florida factor. And that's where a lot of this stuff comes from is you have players. I think we counted them up the other day. It's like 7 or 8 players that live in South Florida from the league,
Hmm.
right? You have 7 or 8 players there. You have like 7 or 8 players from the St. Pete, Tampa area, and you got 7 or 8 players from the Northeast side. So when you're traveling around to these things, that stuff matters. We watched it for the Manatees. Um, I think that the Manatees are going to shake this one off. I think that they're going to make it out. But I think O-Town's going to start to have their surge. This is where the fellas are together. They got their, the new pickup and their trade. So they're going to be able to come out and take one home. If it goes to a dream breaker, I think it's like 50-50 for this stuff, which we've seen because, we've seen all things happen in dream breakers. So, that'll be the interesting factor that happens. But yeah, I think that O-Town's going to make a good run and they're going to take the whole stop.
All right. Well, there's that. There's the picks. I say the Ballers win the stop three. You say it's O-Town rising up the standings right now. They're sitting in seventh place. They're out of a playoff spot, but with a stop win here, that would be huge for them in the standings. They get definitely into a playoff spot and maybe rise up into the top 3 or 4 in the standings. So that'll be really interesting to see. But this stop, it's coming in Miami. The Blaze are the hometown team. We talked about the factor that'll play a little bit for them. And one of the players for this stop, or for the Blaze that'll be joining us here on this episode, is Gianna Jarman.
Hello.
Hey, Gianna, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today? We got the Miami stop coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me and looking forward to the stop on Saturday.
So, Gianna, you and I go kind of way back to when I ran through the crowd at Duber Nationals. You played a little bit about you, right? You played college pickleball. You're national champion in college pickleball. What do you think compares right now, how the All Florida Pro League is comparing to your college journey?
I actually think it's a lot different than college. It's way more like organized, and I would say that like the people you're around, it's a way different like community, and everyone kind of acts a little different compared to that. It's just the players on the court. We don't really have a coach, so that's a big like standing factor. With the pro league, we're a lot I feel like there's a lot more pressure on us because we're being watched a little more. So it's cool to see how that plays out and how that affects the whole team.
Yeah, for sure. And you talk about your college experience, the FAU pickleball club. You kind of got that whole thing started. You're one of those members that started it all together. So how did that kind of come about? And take us a little bit through your pickleball journey starting out. Like, how did you join the sport, and then how did that come together as a whole at FAU?
Yeah, so I actually started about 5 years ago. My parents ended up getting divorced, and my dad moved into a smaller community over in Lely Resort near the National Pickleball Center here. So that kind of opened up a lot of opportunities, and I started playing pickleball and then getting involved in a lot of those tournaments. And then coming into FAU, I knew some of the kids on the team, Alec Lamacchio. He was also from Naples at the time, so we were talking, and he actually got me on the team because it's a little bit competitive and it was hard to get in since it wasn't so organized. So that was a super cool opportunity for me, and this year I was able to play um, a lot. So it was super cool to be part of that, and we had so much success. Um, for just a new club and for being so unorganized, I think we just did really well this year, and I can't wait to see like how much we can build from it now.
Yeah, college is one thing. So now you're in the All Florida Pro League. What was it like hearing your name get called in the draft? What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, so actually we were in Atlanta for the Duper Nationals the weekend before, and then flew back to Boca Raton and then drove over to Naples literally the night of to play in the US Open, and did pretty well that week. I played some 5-0 and got gold in mixed and then silver in women's. So that was super cool. But driving to the tryout for the pro league, I was super tired and I honestly was not feeling it. So To hear my name get called was super exciting because I honestly had very low expectations, but it's been a super cool experience so far, and I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah, and you talk about that experience. What's been kind of your favorite part of being a part of the All Florida Pro League? This is the third season of the league, and your first time in it. So, what's kind of been this experience of being in the league and being a pro as a whole?
Yeah, I just love like the team aspect of it. I knew Jake previously just from like college pickleball and some mutual friends, but meeting Ellie and Ben just have been super awesome. The first time we stepped on the court was the first stop. And we just had super great communication. Me and Ellie won our first two women's games, so that was a great start to the All Florida. So it was awesome.
So, let's talk about you're going to the Miami Blaze. This is your hometown stop. What's the expectation right now for the team going into stop number 3? You do have a sub. Kaden's coming in to sub for Ben. So, what is the expectation like, and what are you doing to strategize to be able to pull out a win in stop 3?
Yeah, so there's definitely some high expectations. I think the Ballers and the Sarasota Manatees are in our draw, and those are the only two teams we've lost to before. So it definitely can go either way. But we also have another sub. Ellie's out for this stop as well. So Kyler's stepping in.
Jesus Christ.
I know. So with two subs, it's definitely going to be a little challenging, but I feel like as long as our communication is top notch, we might be able to pull this one off.
There you go. Breaking news right now. I think that just happened.
Breaking news.
Holy crap. So, all right. So you're going to play with a new partner. You're going to have Kyler there to be able to do that. And what is your mentality? Like, you're going to be, do you have fans coming out for this stop that are going to be there watching you? Like, I don't know if the Slives are coming out. Like, I have no idea. It could be a celebrity row out there.
A few friends. My parents are coming to this stop, so that'll be a first for them.
Ooh.
And then some kids from the FAU team might come watch. So I'm just hoping to bring the energy and just play my best. Playing with a new partner is definitely going to be a little challenging, but I've played against Kyler, so I kind of know her game a little. And Jake and I we have good communication, and we're pretty hype out there. So I'm looking forward to playing with him as well.
Yeah, and you guys definitely bring the energy. I say for the Blaze. I mean, you and Jay, kind of the vocal leaders, I'd say, on the court for your team. And is that kind of been maybe the team chemistry wise? Jay, kind of the team leader. You and him together. Is that kind of how it's been through the first two stops in your eyes?
Yeah, I feel like since we're the two youngest on the team, it's really helped like our roles and our part on the team to bring the energy. Um, I feel like we both can get a little annoyed sometimes, but we pick each other up at the right moments, and we know when we need to like bring some more energy to the team. And we're both the singles players for the team, so that's definitely a big factor in that as well.
It's not a bad dream breaker team right there. So, let's talk a little bit about what the journey's been like this year here. You've had some ups, you've had a few downs, but you've been able to kind of mentally go through that. What is something you're doing now to focus in on the mental side to stay focused in? Because we have truncated the season a little bit, but it's still a grind. You've got, this stop, you got the mid-season, you've got, another stop, you got the finals. I mean, it's a lot. It's 7 stops. So, we're only in stop number 3. What are you doing to make sure that your mind and your body stay right during the season?
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of things I can work on in my pickleball game. But kind of outside of that is just having a lot of fun on the court. I feel like we all play a lot better when we're just going to have fun, and obviously being very competitive as well. But getting down on the court's kind of hard because then it brings everyone down. So really just focusing on having fun, I think, in college pickleball that as well, because there's been some drama on our team. But at the end of the day, like we're all family and we just have fun with each other and it works out.
And you guys now head into stop 3. You're in 4th place in the league standings. A few points behind the Ballers, who lead the league right now. So, what do you think you need to do as a team? I know now in stop 3, a couple new subs. two new players on your team. But what's kind of the mentality for your team, and what do you guys think you need to do to maybe make that jump into the top, few teams in the standings?
Hmm. So in stop one, I think we split games with the Ballers to make it to the finals, and they ended up winning the singles, but we were able to take them down in both the mixed games. So I think we should be okay there. It's just really focusing on coming out strong in the women's games, and then also the men coming out strong as well.
So, have you practiced your post-game speech when the Blaze win and Hugh standing next to you with the microphone? Have you been practicing that in the mirror, in the shower, and like things like that? Like, what has that been like for you, Gianna?
No, not yet, unfortunately, although I probably should, because we're gonna make it there eventually. But just focusing on what I can improve, and then just everyone coming together at the end of the day. It's kind of hard to have team practices when we're all like spread out across Florida. So this is the first stop. We'll have a team practice the day before, which should definitely help us.
Where are you practicing at?
Epic.
Oh, nice. Oh, so you guys are going in Friday to practice?
Correct.
Nice. That'll be good. That'll be good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean that'll definitely be a big help. I mean, getting all four of you on the court, especially with a couple new players together. So, thank you so much for joining us, Gianna. I mean, so much luck to you in stop three and the rest of the season. So, thank you for joining us. So, we'll see you on Saturday.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Have a good one, Gianna.
Thank you. All right, so there's Gianna Jarman, and she brought some breaking news.
Freaking subs. So yeah, but I mean, look, I'm impressed with her. You're talking about a college kid going pro, right?
Mhm.
Like, we've had conversations with players outside of this and outside of the league, and they're like, man, this is a lot, and they're actually like full-time pickle. You're talking about somebody who's figuring out their life,
Yeah.
studying, and at this level of pickleball and succeeding. Like, she is definitely a top female in the state of Florida right now. So being able to watch her and watch this journey, it's super fun. And then, yeah, I get a little bit extra because I get to watch her play college pickleball. So I know a little bit more about her. But again, like that team environment, you're watching her and Jake Bowers also, college pickleball related. It's starting to become that funnel. And, this is her next step in her journey and getting noticed more times.
Yeah, and you could tell the excitement that these college pickleball players bring to the pro game. I mean, you talk about guys like Jake and girls like Gianna, the two of them together. I mean, it brings so much excitement to the court and the crowd. They get everybody involved and can get everyone into it. And that stems from college. I mean, any college sport that you're going to be a part of and the team you're going to be on, it's going to be exciting, right? The fans come out to cheer you on. All your teammates are cheering you on. And she and Jake definitely both bring that to the pro league game. And it's been really cool to see. And I'm sure we'll see it in stop three.
I mean, with the pickup of Kyler, they're almost giving the Manatees a run for their money for the youngest team in the stop. Like, that's a young team. I know Kyler's going to love hearing that. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty amazing to see. And it's fun watching her journey. So, a little bit, I was at MLP. I love how MLP tries to, copy us. So we have the first ever trade in the league. And they go, all right, well, we got to do one better than the All Florida Pro League here. And they had a 4-team trade. I love that they try to up us all the time. Every time we do something, they have to make sure they do it better. I like that.
Exactly.
But, it was great just talking to and seeing that environment and watching kind of evolution. And I had a chance there's a lot of off-court action going on. And we have players that are in the league, we have players that are signed PPA and they're all hanging out. So it's like you're watching this journey from our league into pros, and they're sharing the stories of how they developed in the league and how they developed in the tournaments, the off-season stuff, and how that helped them prepare. And, then talking to the teams themselves and what they're looking for out of players. And, she fits the mold. She's got a lot of work to do on a few things in her game to progress, but it's hard at this level to get that much better fast. So it's a lot of time. And then I love hearing that she's going to have family out to support.
Yeah, that's awesome.
A few players in the league, they hate that. But, I think she's going to thrive with that. So it's super impressive to see her.
Yeah, it definitely is. And we talk about the Blaze. I mean, I said it before, they're fourth in the standings right now. Try to make that jump. They'll be without two of their players, as we just heard. So um, we could take a look at some of their points from the last stop in Sarasota. Here's one of the women's side. You can see Gianna there alongside Ellie Skingley. But you can see Gianna just firing away and the camaraderie that those two have together, it's good to see.
So with that point, you kind of see her at the kitchen line. I know the other team was back, but one of the things that's happening a lot right now in the women's game is, and they're talking about it, is that they're stepping off the line a little bit. She's got no fear at that line. She's stepping into it. She's going after it, and then right back. You could see the little bit of the split step there. That hop that she has is definitely preparing her well, but she's staying right up on that kitchen line, which is what I love to see. Is a little bit different than what we're seeing the female game transition to.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she's not scared at all. I mean, there's no different in mix too. I mean, you can see she's up there. She's ready for those speed ups. She's ready to counter, put the ball back in. And you can definitely see it on the women's side. And then we turn to one of the points from the men's side. You can see Ben and Jake playing together. Jake will be with a new partner in Kaden Selewski. But Jake Bauer is just really impressive to me. His movement side to side at the kitchen line, and his dinking ability, those offensive dinks, getting him deep. I feel like he's really good at that.
I mean, he definitely has the two-handed backhand dink right there. It's going to be advantageous for him because he's really not going to have to move. If you watch this clip, you see how close to the tee he gets, how far over he is. Ben's solid, steady. You see he's working his triangle, but Kaden's like 8'9" tall and can reach in. So it's going to allow Jake to play a little freer where he can make some more moves and be ready to react. There he's covered a little bit of ground. So he's going to be able to do a little bit more with a longer player if Kaden can really just settle into that right, play that, we'll call it the Ben U spot, resetting, not attacking too early, and just let Jake work a little bit is going to be good for the Blaze.
Yeah, for sure. And now we head to a point in the mixed doubles. You can see Jake there playing alongside Gianna. So we'll see this duo play again. I mean, look at Gianna working there at the kitchen line. It's really impressive. She goes back, she gets it. Jake puts it away. The chemistry between those two is really good to see.
I mean, they definitely know each other's game. They're both in South Florida. They both, she's in Naples, but she was in South Florida for a while. The one thing you'll notice here as we rewatch this one is notice how they're moving together, but also they're starting to build that chemistry on their hops. Look right here. See, they're both stepping right there, taking those little mini hops at the same time, which is going to help their timing together as a team. That's going to be a big one to watch for the Blaze. It's a big part of the game that they can move in unison, not having played together a ton. A practice the night before doesn't just create chemistry. So I think it's getting better, and they're definitely going to be the number one line on their team.
Yeah, and I think those two together is going to be really important for this Miami Blaze team, especially with two new players in the second mixed double. So if they're able to take maybe one of the gender, and then they have to come out and they have to prove themselves as that number one line in the mixed doubles for the Blaze, because those two will be really important to set the tone for the rest of the match in the final 3 games of it. But yeah, being out there, those two together, having played together now for 2 stops in a row, being able to continue that in stop 3 when you have 2 new players playing in your other mixed doubles pairing, I think that'll be really important for the Blaze if they want to, make something of this home stop.
I mean, I feel kind of bad telling them they're going to go 0-3, but hey, man, now you got another sub. I'm like, all right, here you go. Jake's going to have to really step up. Gianna's going to have to really, really step up. This game's about pressure, and now they've got pressure on the court. They got a little off the court too, because they definitely want to win. They're competitive people. So it will not be a fun day if they go 0-3. I don't know if I feel like dealing with that.
No, for sure. Won't be a fun day for them or the fans involved either. So, we made our picks for each match. We made our picks for the stop winners as well. So now me and you, let's say we make our stop MVP picks. David, I'll
Okay.
let you go first. Give me your MVP for this stop and tell me why.
So I think that this stop is going to boil down to who can make it with a sub, right? I think that you're going to see Emmanuel Dixon come out. I think he's going to be the MVP. He's
All
from
right.
South Florida, sleeping in his own bed. I think that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He got through his first stop, he's gonna have. He might have. He's gonna probably play with Savannah, so he's got somebody else there, being a lefty. So I think that you're gonna see him. I think he's gonna run the table.
All right. Yeah. I mean, that goes with your O-Town pick. You say the Bangers are going to win it.
That's
You
why it
say,
is.
there you go. You say Emmanuel's going to be the MVP. For me, I said the Ballers, they're going to take home their third stop in a row. So I'm going to go with Ahmed. He's going to be my MVP pick for stop number 3. He's been so solid through the first 2 stops. He's been really good, at the kitchen, at the baseline. His shot placement and timing has just been impeccable to see so far. And I mean, you can see it in the fantasy standings. He's way at the top. It's him and Steven kind of neck and neck. Ahmed, he's been one of the top players in the league all season. I think he is going to prove himself that much more in this stop, especially, as you said, having to travel all the way down from the Jacksonville area, get down to Miami, not sleeping in his own bed. But, hey, I say Ahmed is going to be the MVP.
I could tell by, the sunburns on your face, man, that you are definitely grinding out there teaching while I am in the lab. So something else about Ahmed here, right, is he doesn't have his mom. She's not coming to this stop. He has had her at both stops. She's not coming to this one.
There you go.
That's a big thing. So now he's got to wake up early and be an adult. Doesn't have his mom with him, right? You're like 0 for 2 here on the Ahmed picks.
All right. I mean, you say that, but hey, he doesn't have his mom. I know she'll be watching.
Oh, God.
So
Those text messages are going to be rolling in.
I'm sure we'll see her comments on the live stream. But hey, I think he can do it. He's proven himself well through the first 2 stops. I think he could do it with or without mom in attendance. So he's my pick. I say the Ballers and Ahmed are gonna run the table once again. You say Emmanuel and O-Town are gonna have a really great day coming up on Saturday.
Gonna be fun.
It is for sure. Epic Athletic Club at the Sawgrass Mills Mall in South Florida on Saturday. Stop number 3 of the All Florida Pro League. Thank you all for joining us on Pro League this week. Join us again next week as we break down whatever happens in Stop 3.
Play fantasy pickleball. 1-800-ASK Dave.
There you go. Fantasy Pickleball coming up. Stop 3 on Saturday.